Hello friends, today's topic of discussion is random process. The objectives of today's lecture are to study mathematical definition of a random process, stationary process, mean, correlation and covariance function. To study properties of strictly stationary process and wide sense stationary process. The statistical analysis is essential because the signals used in communication system are random in nature. The knowledge of random variables, mean, variance, standard deviation, and random process is essential in order to perform the statistical analysis of communication system. The most important issue in the statistical analysis of communication system is the characterization of random signal, such as voice signal, TV signals, electrical signals, computer data. So, the properties of random signal. The random signals mentioned earlier, they have two properties. The first, they are function of time and defined over some time interval. The second property of random signal is it is not possible to describe exactly the waveform of this signal with respect to time. Here we can see a random process or stochastic process. Here we can see a sample space. Sample space, it is basically a collection of all possible sample points. A sample space of random variable x representing the temperature at 12 o'clock it is given. So we can see here S1, that is the sample point, it corresponds to temperature at 12 o'clock on day 1. Similarly, the sample point S2, it corresponds to the temperature at 12 o'clock on day 2. Similarly, we can find out the sample points S3, S4, S5 for the day 2, day 3, day 4 and day 5. So this is called as a sample space and these are called as sample points. These are sample space, basically it is a collection of all sample points here. Now we can again find out the ensemble of a sample function. Here we are having the x1 of t. What it is explaining, this is the outcome of first experiments. Means on day 1, the temperature is recorded over here. And these are the sample points which represents the temperature at 12 o'clock. That is S1, S2, Sn at T1. Similarly, S1 dash, S2 dash, Sn dash. These indicate that temperature at 10 o'clock over here. So, random variable that is x1 at this time period, that is T1 on the day 1, day 2, day up to nth day. Similarly, random variable is x2 at this. So, S1 and S1 dash, these are the sample points at 12 o'clock and 10 o'clock respectively. So, this is the outcome of first experiment, this is the outcome of second experiment and this is the outcome of nth experiment. So, here we can see that is, this is the sample point S1 which refers to the x1 of t over here. Similarly, S2 and this is the x3. Now, this is known as the ensemble of a sample function. Here, the temperature on day 1 is recorded at different times over here. That is, x of t1 is equal to capital X1 and x of t2 is equal to capital X2. Thus, here the sample function 1 is a waveform showing the temperature variation with respect to time t on day 1. Then second, sample function 2. It is the waveform showing the temperature variation with respect to with time on day 2 and so on. So number of sample functions are there. So ensemble, it means a family or a collection of all possible sample functions. There is a similarity between ensemble and sample space. Sample space, it is a collection of all possible sample points, whereas ensemble is a collection of all possible sample functions. Now, the time average. Time average of a random process, it is defined as the statistical average obtained by considering time t as a variable. The time average of any sample function x of t can be defined as this. Mx of t, it is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integration minus t by 2 to t by 2 x of t dt. The time average of a sample function 1 need not to be identical to that of the sample function 2 or 3 and so on. Thus, in time average, we have time t. It is treated as a variable. This is the difference between time average and ensemble average. Now, we can see the classification of random process. Random processes are broadly categorized into the categories. The first, stationary and non-stationary random process. Second, that is wide sense stationary process. And third is the ergodic process. The first one, stationary process. A random process whose statistical characteristics do not change with the time, it is known as a stationary random process. Therefore, the shift of time origin will not have any effect on the stationary random process. Here we can consider a random process x of t, which is initiated at t is equal to minus infinity. So let x of t1, x of t2 up to x of tn. It denotes the random variables obtained by observing the random processes. X of t at the instance t is equal to t1, t2 up to tn. Now we can find out the joint cumulative distribution function, joint CDF, of this set of random variables denoted by f of x of t1, x of t2 up to x of tn, capital X1, x2, xn. Or we can again write this in simplified format, f of x1, x2 up to xn. In bracket we can say x1, x2 up to xn. This is the simplified notation to represent joint CDF. Strictly stationary process. Into this, if a random process is strictly stationary process, when it will be when f of x of t1, x of t2 up to x of tn, x1, x2, xn, it is equal to f of x of t1 plus tau, x of t2 plus tau up to x of tn plus tau. And this is for all time shifts tau, all n and all possible choices of t1, t2 and tn. Then only we can say that the given random process is strictly stationary process. So here is the example of strictly stationary process. Now jointly stationary process. Here the two stationary processes, for example x of t and y of t, are initiated at t is equal to minus infinity. They are called as a jointly stationary processes if the joint distribution function of the random variables x of t1, x of t2 up to x of tn, and similarly y of t1 dash, y of t2 dash up to y of tn dash, tj dash, t dash j are invariant with respect to the location of origin t is equal to 0 for all n and j, and for all choices of t1, t2, tn, and similarly t dash 1, t dash 2 up to t dash j. Now, the properties of strictly stationary process. Basically, this is the condition for any random process to become a strictly stationary process. That is f of xt1, xt2 up to xtn, it is equal to f of x of t1 plus tau, x of t2 plus tau up to x of tn plus tau. So for this, the first property is, now just remember this equation. Now for n is equal to 1, we can find out the above expression. It will get converted as, for n is equal to 1, only f of x of t1, x1 is equal to f of x of t1 plus tau, x1. And this is for all t and tau. So if we modify this expression for n is equal to 1, we can say that the first property says that the first order distribution function of stationary random process, it is independent of time over here. Now the second property, in the same equation we can put n is equal to 2 and tau is equal to minus t1. The above expression gets converted as f of x of t1, xt2, x1, x2. This is for n is equal to 2. So we are having two samples functions, x of t1, x of t2 over here, and that is equal to f of x of t1 minus tau and t2 minus tau. And if you replace tau is equal to minus t1, you can find out this t1 minus t1. That means here it will be 0. And here we can find out x of t2 minus t1 over here. So this is for all possible values of t1 and t2. So the second property of strictly random process, it states that the second order distribution function of stationary random process, it depends only on the time difference between the observation times t1 and t2 and not dependent on the particular times at which the random process is observed. So this is the second property of strictly stationary process. Now, moving towards the next point, that is mean of a stationary process. The mean value of a random process, it is given by, that is mx of t, that is the mean of a random process. It is basically expected value of x of t. Now, how to denote this expected value of x of t? That is capital E x of t. Here it is the equation for the mean value E of x of t. Then it is equal to basically integration minus infinity to infinity x of f of x of t x dx. Whereas f of x t x, it is the first order PDF of the process. Now, referring to the first property of stationary process, we know that is first property for n is equal to 1. We have seen that we can say that for a stationary process f x t x dx, it is independent of time. Therefore, the mean of stationary process is always constant and it is given by mxt is equal to mx. So, this is the mean of stationary process which we need to prove that this is constant and this is for all values of t over here. So we need to always remember this is the condition for in case of stationary process, that is mx of t is equal to mx, that is constant. Now moving towards the next point, that is autocorrelation of a process x of t. The autocorrelation of a process x of t, it is defined as the expectation of the product of two random variables x of t1 and x of t2. These variables are obtained by observing the process at t is equal to t1 and t2 respectively. So we can find out or we can rewrite this autocorrelation and it is denoted by Rx of t1 comma t2. And this is expressed as we have seen, that is this is the expectation of product of two random variables. So expectation or expected value, that means capital E in bracket x of t1 x of t2. Now again we can rewrite this or we can express this, that is integration minus infinity to infinity two times, because for x of t1 x of t2 x1 x2 f of x t1 f x2, that is the second order probability density function. Now the autocorrelation function of a stationary process. The autocovariation function of a stationary process is written as Cx t2 minus t1 is equal to expected value of x of t1 minus mx into x of t2 minus mx. That is nothing but Rx t2 minus t1 minus mx square. Here C2 Cx t2 minus t1, it represents the variance function and it depends only on the time difference, that is t2 minus t1. This is what a autocovariance function of a stationary process. Now moving towards the next type of random process, that is wide sense stationary process, which is also known as a WSS. A process may not be a stationary in the strict sense. Still, it may have mean value mxt and an autocorrelation function which are independent of the shift of the time origin. Such a process is known as a wide sense stationary, or sometimes this is also known as a weakly stationary process. All the stationary processes are wide sense stationary, but every WSS, that is every wide sense stationary process, may not be strictly stationary. However, it is important to know that a truly stationary process cannot occur in real life. So this is WSS, that is wide sense stationary process. Mx of t is equal to constant and Rx of T1, T2 is equal to Rx of T2 minus T1. So these are the main conditions if you want to prove that the given random process is a wide sense stationary process. Now, we can see properties of autocorrelation first before going to see the example based on WSS, because these are useful properties to prove that the given random process is WSS. The first property of an autocorrelation is the mean square value of a random process can be obtained from Rx of t by substituting t is equal to 0 in equation 1. The first one we have seen. So here we can find out Rx of 0 is equal to E into, that is E means expected value, x square of t. The second property is the autocorrelation function Rxt. It is an even function of time t, that is Rx of tau is equal to Rx of minus tau. Now the third property is the autocorrelation function Rx of t has its maximum magnitude at t is equal to 0, that is Rx of t is less than or equal to Rx of 0. Now we can prove this properties. The second property, which states that the autocorrelation function Rx of tau is an even function of tau. In this, we have defined the autocorrelation function. How to define the autocorrelation function of a random process? Rx of tau is equal to expected value of x of t plus tau into x of t. That is for all t. Now we can substitute t minus tau in place of t. Now wherever it is given that is t, in that place we need to write t minus tau. So again we can rewrite this given equation Rx of tau is equal to Rx of minus tau is equal to expected value of t minus tau plus tau, that means tau will get cancelled out, you will get only x of t, and here in place of t you need to substitute t is equal to t minus tau. So again we are getting x of t minus tau. Here we can note that x of t minus tau represents the delayed version of x of t, whereas x of t plus tau represents the added version of x of t. Hence, both of them will have same shape. So if you find out Rx of tau, similarly Rx of minus tau, both are same over here. So we have proved this, that is autocorrelation function Rx of tau, it is an even function of t. That is Rx of tau is equal to Rx of minus tau. So this was the second property of autocorrelation function. Now the third property in which we are going to prove that it has, that is autocorrelation function Rx of tau, it has its maximum magnitude at t is equal to 0. That is Rx of magnitude of Rx of tau, it is less than or equal to Rx of 0. Now we know that is the, here we need to consider a non-negative quantity. So expected value of x of t plus tau plus minus x of t square is greater than or equal to 0. So if you solve this, you will be getting this equation. Since E is a linear operator, we can write this as E, that is expected value of x square t plus tau plus minus expected value of the second term, expected value of the third term similarly. But Rx of 0, it is equal to expected value of x square t, and expected value of x square t plus tau, it is also equal to Rx of 0, and expected value of x of t plus tau and into x of t, that is equal to Rx of tau. So we can rewrite this, that is 2 Rx0, because the first and second term is Rx0 plus minus 2 into Rx tau, which is greater than or equal to 0. In other words, we can say that Rx of 0 is greater than or equal to Rx of tau over here, if you take this term into this side. So this is the third property of autocorrelation function Rx of t. It has its maximum amplitude or magnitude at t is equal to 0. Now the last point, that is physical significance of autocorrelation function. Now here we can see, that is the figure which illustrates the physical significance of autocorrelation function. The physical significance of Rx of tau, that is autocorrelation function, is that it is a measure of interdependence of two random variables obtained by observing a random process x of t, and that is at times tau seconds apart. So in the diagram it is shown that as this is the rapidly changing random process, and the second we can say that this is slowly changing random process. Thank you.